We're now live.
Yay, hello, my happy quilters. And welcome once again to Rochester, Minnesota, Pine Needles Quilt and Sew. This is the Marcia and Joy Show, and we've got some fun things once again and always to show to you.
We do. I'm so excited. It's feeling fall and fresh outside, isn't it?
It is. And you know what? You're going to want to like, comment, and share. And Joy's going to tell you why if you're first time joining us.
And if you are a returning viewer, thank you very much. But we have a $10 certificate for 3 lucky winners today. 2 we will draw from the comment section of the show today, whether you are live or you watch it later. And the 3rd one will go to our trivia winner. And this week, hopefully, we don't stump the audience so much.
No, it's an easier one.
Last week, we just drew an extra name.
We did, yes.
Okay.
We did. But this week is easier.
Right.
It is. Even Susie said that, well, we won't stump them this week. So
that's good.
Anyways.
I didn't look at the trivia today, so I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, you know, 'tis the season, pumpkins and everything, flavored pumpkin, and in the morning I'm putting a sweater on and taking it off in the afternoon.
Same here, same here.
Oh my goodness. So, pumpkin jokes.
I'm ready.
What did the pumpkin say to its carver?
What did the pumpkin say to
Cut it out!
Oh! Oh my goodness, Marcia.
And why is the jack-o'-lantern so forgetful?
I don't know why, Marcia.
Because he's empty-headed. There you go.
You heard it here first.
Grown.
I have a nice pumpkin on my step. It's about 500 some pounds.
Told me that.
I'm so excited.
Well, these pumpkin jokes might show up at somebody's dining room table
You never
tonight.
know. I'll have to remember that. So what does it go? What did the pumpkin say to its carver? Cut it out. Okay, I have to remember that for a few hours so I can share it at home.
Emphasize the thing.
Cut it out.
So always fun here is to show you the new fabrics.
I know, and my goodness, we have lots of new ones, but today
this came in I guess last week. But
it came in last week.
we're just getting it out now. I love to unwrap these.
I know you do.
Look it.
And this one's just gorgeous.
It really is. It's very, very pretty. This is called Country Rose.
And it's by Layla Batik.
Layla Batik.
Are you ready to have a closer look?
So let's take a closer look at it. Yes, please. Okay. Layla Batik, always fun, beautiful. So this is beautiful pink roses and little white flowers and leaves. I love diagonal. This is really a gingham. I would call it a gingham. Gingham, though, is yarn dyed, but this is like a gingham print. But I love them when they're on the diagonal. I especially love them for bindings.
I know. Look at how pretty that is on that fabric.
I know.
Gorgeous.
And she is famous for these dots with different colors that mimic what's going on in her line. We've sold a lot of those on some of her previous collections, and it's really, really pretty. So here's a pretty kind of it's a little bit directional, but it wouldn't show up terribly in your quilt of some
I would
flowers.
totally use that any direction on my quilt.
Too. And a little blue print with a white flower. And here's another one. This is kind of a peachy background, the same as this one. And then this peachy.
Oh my goodness, look at how pretty that one is.
Yep. And then here again, now this is her dot, but this is just the peach with the white. And this is this one, only in the peachy color. Beautiful greens.
And it has words all over it.
Words, yep, on this one. And there again is this one on the green background with the colors that go throughout her collection. And here is this one again. So we've got it on a green background, a blue background, and the peachy colored background. This is really quite striking. I like this one too, though, and this one. But here on the green.
Oh.
But then again, here it is on the pink. So
right.
Really pretty. The small flowers with a little white and the deeper pink. Here again is this print, which I really like. This would be a nice binding too.
That's what I was thinking. These are very nice.
They really are. This, and
it's
this.
It's a stripe with
and
flowers.
And the quilt as well. So here is the pinkish color with the deeper rose color. And here again is this diagonal gingham in the pink. The words on the, this is not really mauve. What is this color?
Persimmon.
Persimmon. Okay, that's a good word.
That's a
good word. So here again is this one. We have them in all the colors. and the persimmon with the white on the top. And then we have more of this. So here is this lovely main print that comes throughout the whole thing. And this is white on white background. And then there's this guy again.
Look at that.
This is a pretty one too.
Oh, I like that one.
And these dots sell out a lot for us, especially on the white background. I mean, you can match these in with many, many, many different projects. But it really is dyed to match for her.
But these are great for any scrappy quilt
really
that need a background. I like to collect that
really
kind
are.
of
So
low
this,
volume.
you can't really see, but this is white on white of the dots. And here is the words with kind of a gray writing, and here is gray. Now this would be good anything. And here is again this flower vine on the gray, white flowers on gray. Here is the main print again on a gray background. And then to top it all off, we have a few blacks. So here is the black with the main print on there. And look at this one.
That is classic and classy.
And I love this one too.
Right?
Just a little bit of writing in there. And here is that same one that we love so much. And here is the black with the white dots.
That is classy classic, isn't it, Marcia?
So this is really beautiful, beautiful fabric. And of course, we have a couple of other pre-cuts. I did not see...
We didn't get the layer cakes yet. I did not find the layer cakes this morning.
Or the
charms.
trim packs. So hopefully they're still coming. Otherwise, we have the Fat Eights, and we have a lot of these little honey buns. And we've got something really special planned for these later on.
We do.
So those are our new fabrics.
And again, you can buy the whole big fat quarter bundle that Marcia just highlighted, so you have a little bit of everything. But you did show the little Fat Eights as well, so that is a great choice.
The Fat Eights is good. Is
They're
also
just
good.
so soft and classy. And a thing about the greens, if you're making a table runner and you happen to have an oak table in your life, that green really sets it off very nicely on oak. It pops the color.
It is really nice. So that is Country Rose by Layla Batik of
Yes.
Moda. So we love that. Embroidery Club is this Friday, so just 2 days from now. And look at these fun pumpkins. They actually come in 3 different sizes. You're going to get the kit and the CD to make them all sizes. But you can see on the bottom too that you can put tea lights in there.
I forgot the tea lights. I had them in my hand.
Oh, to show them. So this one is missing its leaves. So
I actually have it here, and I wanted to show how you make the elements separate, and then there are eyelets here, and you can put it in whichever eyelet you want. So that is how these fun
this is a tendril.
It is a tendril. The leaf fell away somewhere in our shop, so somewhere there's a bonus leaf laying, but Kendra's going to lead you step by step through how to make these amazing freestanding pumpkins. She said, Joy, here's the tea lights, and I had them in my hand, and then I needed to help somebody and I set them down.
You know, the freestanding lace is really, really neat. However, this has fabric as a base. So the fabric that we use are some
burnt orange grunge.
Burnt orange grunge.
And what we have in there is this color on the small pumpkin.
Right, and this one is a kind of a purple grunge. But what I like, I just feel it adds a little bit more stability. Because this really is pretty solid. And then when you put the tea lights in them too, oh, what a beautiful table display. 3 sizes, so you're going to get the CD with all 3 sizes and the fabric to make this little guy.
Yes.
So right here on this very spot, 10 o'clock on Friday she'll start, and of course it's recorded, so if you are at work you can watch it later with the recording. But you know, if you sign up here, there's still time to get your kit sent off to you, and
get a chance to win one of the drawing prizes.
She
you had to have purchased the Embroidery Club
here, and she has a ton of fun door prizes every time.
And it's bonus month from OESD. Every year OESD gives back to their creators, you out there in the audience, by giving a free Christmas collection with a $79 purchase. And that is with any of the OESD design collections that you might purchase, thread boxes, and ISA cords, and stabilizers. So make sure you make a list.
Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun with that.
I know, there's so many options. So that is a lot of fun, and if you're new or experienced to embroidery, this is going to be a great class because new techniques on the horizon with Kendra Friday morning.
Okay, so some of the classes and fun things coming up. Monterey Medallions is coming up on Saturday. So if you need something fun to do, there's only one spot left for this, and Terry is teaching this, and it's actually a 2-part class. So it's this Saturday, and then I think they skip a Saturday, and then it comes the next Saturday. But it is a beautiful, beautiful quilt. The class includes your choice of fabrics from throughout the store, the instruction for the
Discount on fabrics.
Discount on fabrics, sorry. Generous discount on fabrics.
A generous discount on fabrics.
Thank you for correcting me on that one. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It's hard to keep track of everything.
Right.
All of her instructions, she has, it's a beautiful quilt to make. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. It's a Terry Atkinson pattern, and you're going to fall in love with this one. So one more spot left, so get signed up. I think Susie is going to post in the comments the link so you can get signed up for the class.
Hey, thanks for bringing that up, because that's another thing. We like to just join you in your homes and chit chat with you. But if anything we're talking about today says, hey, I need you in my life, which I hope many things do, on our website, pnqs.net, we do have a shopping tab, and what you're going to look for is us two cutting it up. And Susie's collected everything we're talking about today in one easy to shop space. And we do have a sale going on too, but we'll talk about that later.
We're going to talk about the sale later. That has its own special tab right next to this one.
I didn't put that one up. But anyway, that's what you want to look for. So I hope you're all enjoying.
Okay, very good. Alrighty, one spot left. Okay, pot holder kits.
Oh my goodness.
You know, we have been having fun with this stuff.
She got the heavy load.
So this is Doug Lico right here from Minnesota, and we actually saw him yesterday. It was pretty fun. This is the chenille hot pad pattern. And what I love about these is, I don't want these ones. So, okay, here's what you do. This is kind of an example of, you're going to sew down, but you're going to sew on both sides like this. You're going to have, okay, so this is just kind of a mistake.
That's a halvesy.
That's a halvesy. This is a hot pad for your table or whatever. I'm going to remake these actually. But anyways, these chenille pot holders are really, really fun. And what I like about this pattern, we used to make these long, long ago, and they were bound. And if you've bound small projects like this, it's hard to get it all matched up and everything, unless you make a loop. But anyways, this does not have to be bound. So you're gonna just do the lines, and you're gonna slash it with this, which, by the way, I understand that it is kind of a lot of money, but lickety splickety.
I know.
If any of you, and even the scissors that they have that are spring loaded, oh my gosh.
The chenille cutter is the cat's pajamas.
It is, but yeah, but even if you use a scissors, and like back in the day, back in Crisco when we first started doing some of these things, we would use a regular scissors, and inside the middle of this are 2 pieces of fabric that you don't cut through so it all stays together. Well, inevitably, you would always cut through. You couldn't,
Right.
It was really hard to not help it, but this, it just goes so fast, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes, so no matter if you sew your strips together really close, or this one is a walking foot, the edge of the Bernina walking foot apart.
Right, and I watched Marcia turn out 9 or 12 of these last weekend in a hurry. Not all of these, but many of these.
So like this,
I brought the blue version.
the blue
Here, you
version,
got the blue.
we've got all sorts of kinds. So like this one, this is the striped, this is Moda toweling, and then this is how it turns out.
And you do need to buy the fabric bundle labeled kit and the pattern, because
Right.
the kit is just the
You can buy a
fabric.
lot of kits though with just one pattern.
Right.
So like this orange one, you see
Isn't
it's
that
kind of
crazy?
a plaid, and it turns out like this.
And this one's fabulous because this is really thick and luscious. And
Right, and then we've got all sorts of these colors. Now this
I
is
couldn't
a,
grab them all because
I
you
know
needed
this
some
is a
upfront.
little bit heavier fabric, so this makes a little heavier pot holder, and it doesn't quite fray up so nice. I mean, so much. And I mean, it will after you wash it, but this one's a little bit heavier duty,
Right.
I think. But
As
they're
are
all really
the
nice. Yep.
Pretty pink, which I did not bring in, and then you've got a
We've
purple
got a
in there.
lavender and a creamy color. I think you've got that one here.
Yep.
So like there's this one, that's how it turns out. So fun. Pot holders, fun. These are great teacher gifts, or just for just about anybody.
Yes, they're wonderful. So they are our favorite chenille hot pad pattern and fabric bundles.
Because who doesn't use one?
I don't know.
And I don't know about you, but I have some that are in my drawer. You know how sometimes something gets slopped on them and you don't get it washed right away? Or
it blends right into these, I'll just say. No.
well, you have permission to throw them away.
Oh, when they get
not these, but you know the ones I'm talking about.
The purchased ones.
The ones that you buy
commercially.
Yes.
That's the word, commercially
That's
purchased.
It. Or, if they got too close to the burner at one time and one little edge might burn, you can throw them away and make these, and your life is going to be so much happier. So I want you to buy all these kits because these belong at my home.
And
I can throw away all my old ones.
Right.
Yeah.
But be sure you pick up a chenille cutter because this is worth every single penny. It is $38.99, but my goodness, you can turn the blade in there and just reset the new place. But this really does make that
and
chenille
the blade lasts a
fast.
long, long time because you're just cutting in a small area. It's not like a rotary cut. Well, it is, but it's not. You just.
Right.
I'm going to have to do one and do a demo of cutting these, how fast it goes. So, yeah, quick, easy.
I can see it now. The next quilt fair, where instead of having a seam ripper race, you're going to have the proper tool, and you're going to set me up with those dang scissors, right? I'm going to go.
And I'm going to use the chenille cutter and see who goes faster.
So I already know she's rigged that.
Fun little projects to do, fun little things, and you can turn them out by the dozen easily. So. And it's kind of no-brainer, too, because once you mark the center, you just sew lines and sew lines and sew lines. So that was really quite fun. Okay, serger things.
My goodness. Okay, smart serging. I did get that right this week, right? Smart
serging
is next week. I spoke to Vanita McCall this morning, our educator that's coming in to our classroom. You have 2 choices to attend Thursday and Friday next week. If you wish to sign up, we're nearly full, but we have a couple of places left on Friday, I believe. Yep. And in class,
I think there's 1 left on Thursday and maybe 3 left on Friday.
All right, so in class, we are going to use this amazing pattern and selection of threads to learn lots of different techniques, but I want to show you what the serger looks like here. We have the beautiful Bernina L890 air threading serger that everyone will get to sit at, so 1 person per serger. What is very wonderful about this machine is that it has an open arm on it, and that one is spinning pretty fast. So I'm going to go back to the big camera, but it has an open arm, so you can easily do things in a round. It is air threading, so 1 tap of the foot pedal and the machine threads itself. It has a small stitch width to very wide stitch width on it, and it does cover in chain stitch. So we have those machines arrived yesterday, and we are busy sewing them in, so they will be ready for you next week.
Really fun. So for this class too, you go home with this, and we also got indoor-outdoor bolsters.
Right,
to go inside here, so you'll be able to make a bolster pillow. And plus they go home with like 4 full-size spools of thread.
They do, and we showed those last week.
Yep, so you go home with a lot of fun stuff, and you're going to really learn so much. Now, a lot of people I know ask, well, I'm a quilter. I don't really need a serger.
Before you go on, can I tell one more thing?
Yes.
About the event?
Yes.
So I want Marcia to tell about the quilter story, but because we have these classroom models, we will have special pricing on them. We lucked out here at Pine Needles because our event happens to be during the National Bernina promotion. So when you purchase one of these models, you are going to also go home with the luggage that the serger fits into. You will receive the big book of serging, which is the best thing ever. But also, you're going to go home with some of mine and Vanita and Marcia's favorite feet. Look at this. All of these feet are going to come in that gift with purchase. So not only are you going to go home with the knowledge of what could possibly happen on that L890, but if you choose to purchase one of our classroom models, whether you're in the class or not, maybe you're out there on the fence about a overlocker, you can purchase and pre-order one of our classroom models, and we have 72-month financing next Saturday for 1 day only, so we can help you get pre-approved for that option if you choose to. So,
And we've also ordered in 6 cabinets, 3 in white and 3 in a gray color that these fit into nicely, and we're going to have special pricing on those as well. So we're kind of exciting. When you come to class, you're going to be able to sit for half of the day in a cabinet, and the other half of the day you'll be on a table. So we're totally excited about that. But
in addition to all that fun stuff, now
do you have anything else?
No, now I'm going to lead it back to Marcia and what else?
Unfortunately, this class is full, but a lot of people, we're going to do it again, aren't we?
This is the class we're about to present, yes.
So a lot of people will say, well, I'm a quilter, I don't really need a serger. And you know what? I think probably I felt that way for a while as well. However, for straight line quilting, serging a quilt is absolutely marvelous for several reasons. Don't have to refill a bobbin.
Nope, bottomless bottom.
And it goes like crazy fast, and you can chain piece like crazy fast. And so here is a quilt I did at retreat, and we haven't pressed this yet. And this is a class that Joy and I are going to be teaching next month, I think. But this is log cabin on a serger. So you can't really see too well, but it's a bigger quilt. But let's open it up and look on the inside. So as you can see, that's probably good. We really only need to focus on one block here. As you can see, everything is totally finished.
Yep.
And it lays nice and flat. And like I said, this hasn't even been pressed yet. So I'm just really impressed. This went really fast. Gosh, I got it done in no time. And
the border
we also
stitching is amazing because it does not distort your fabric as you go.
The other thing it's great for is all those quilts that you have. I'm getting a cabinet and I'm setting mine up because I didn't have it set in a cabinet before. But for also sewing on all those borders really, really fast.
Right.
You know, and I think too, like for piano key borders, when you do those,
my goodness,
and then I would go around the outside as well, so it's all nice. And people are like, oh, isn't that too much bulk in there for the quilters? Absolutely not. It really is not for quilting it or anything. Everything lays flat and it's really nice. So if you have any inkling or just would like to come and see what it's all about and try it for yourself, this is the class for you to come to. So
Smart Serging, yes.
Next week,
on Thursday or Friday.
So Susie will have the links in the comments. So do sign up for one of those classes. Check it out, why it's appropriate for anything, all of these decorative stitches, but also really wonderful for quilters as well.
And in light of us featuring and focusing on sergers in the month of October, we've ordered in some really good resource books here in our shop. And these are just 3 that I picked out. And they are good all around, all-purpose books in addition to that big book of serging by Bernina's. So these are new books in our shop. Well, actually, we've had Sewing with Sergers before.
This one.
That one is a classic. I've had that one probably for 30 years.
This is by Palmer and Pletch. And if
it
you
doesn't
remember,
get any better than that.
No, back in the days when we did, I can remember buying them calls or the simplicity patterns to sew clothing, and if they were a Palmer and Pletch pattern,
oh, it was the
it was really marvelous. And I was even back then, I think I was 20 something, I got to go to a Palmer and Pletch class.
What?
Yeah, it was really amazing. No, it was lecture and demo.
So if I touch you, then by osmosis, I'm just one off from
but
Palmer and Pletch.
this is really focuses more on clothing sewing, but it really is a good book if you are a clothing sewer.
Exactly.
Sewist. So, but it's not just, sergers are not just for clothing.
They
anymore.
are not. They are not. They're and more. They're
they
the
are.
and more.
They are.
And I'm going to just put that up one more time because look at how sleek that machine
It is. And if you see, the harp area is so much bigger. They used to be really, really small, like maybe this big. And like if you wanted to do some decorative cover and chain stitching, to shove anything you wanted to do over on this side was really hard to, or the middle part to get it all rolled up and shoved in there, and then it would kind of distort your stitches. And also it has the freehand system, it has the needle up, needle down, it has the kickback, foot control. Oh my gosh, it has everything.
It has it all.
And did we say air threading?
I did say air threading.
Okay.
But yes,
Air
that
threading.
is
it's
magic.
Worth repeating.
It is worth repeating. So I hope to see you in class, and if you can't make it, stop in and take a look at the sergers anyway.
Yeah, you want to do, and we have some special pricing on those that we use in class. So
We do.
that's going to be awesome, totally awesome. Brand new, out of a box, so they qualify for classroom pricing. Okay, the next thing we have coming up is a beginner QuiltWorks class. QuiltWorks, you know, is the wonderful, marvelous paper piecing by Judy Niemeyer. And when I say beginner class, it is a beginner paper piecing class, but I do want to clarify that you should know how to make a quilt.
You should know how to sew.
Yeah, you should know how to sew prior to coming to this. We have our beginner classes with Terry, like the Monterey Medallion is an advanced beginner, but we are assuming that you know how to
Thread and use your machine.
and how to sew seams and so forth. However, to get the beautiful looks and those very, very sharp points, the only way you can get that is by doing a paper piece pattern. So the picture that she just showed up there is,
put it up again.
Yeah, is the class that's becoming. It's called Trifari Jewels, and it is bigger pieces, so it is more appropriate. It doesn't take quite as long as when you have many, many, many small pieces in the pattern. But that's coming up, and she's got just a couple openings left in that
That's
one.
next week, and you could choose our colorway, or if you contact Kendra ahead of time, she can help you get colors that suit
Yes.
your taste.
But do come before the class day if you want her to help you pick out or anybody at the store could help as well. But it's really nice to have Kendra help you choose your fabrics.
Right.
Because she is our QuiltWorks queen.
She is.
She knows her patterns well enough that this color and this color maybe not should be right together for any reason. So
Right.
she will help you with all of that. Okay, then we have trivia.
And how does trivia work, Marcia?
Well, the first person to answer correctly in the comments, you're going to write your comment in there. And Susie's over in the other room, and she is monitoring all this. So the first one to come into her computer is the winner. Now, you have to understand that everybody's computer speeds and things are different. So you may think you were first, but whatever comes into her computer is first. And we are very honest, so we will announce the winner that way. So get your clicking fingers ready for the answer for this one, because here is the serger. I have sergers on my mind.
I know.
Here is our trivia question for today. In what historical route would you find shoe fly, flying geese, a bear's paw, stars, and bow ties? In what historical route would you find shoe fly, flying geese, a bear's paw, stars, and bow ties? These are quilt blocks. So the first one to get the answer here will win the first one of our $10 gift certificates. Yay! All right. So while we're waiting for that to come in, I want to talk about a sale that's going on in the store right now. And it is pretty exciting because it is 14 things on sale in October.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Here we come.
We're going to interrupt this.
Easy peasy.
It was easy peasy.
Mary
Dahlman. My goodness, she is a smart cookie. I think this is about the third time she's won, maybe. But we've been doing it for 3 years, so.
So congratulations. I'll get that certificate ready for you, Mary.
Congratulations, Mary. And the answer is the Underground Railroad.
I could have guessed
Yes,
that one. That one was
absolutely.
an easy one this week, Marcia, so
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
So why don't you tell about the side note?
Well, we're very excited because I spoke to Vanita this morning, and Susie informed us that you're online, so thank you for chiming in, and maybe if you don't mind, put a big shout out to everybody and say hi and see you next week. We'd appreciate it, Vanita.
So our national educator is online with you, watching just like you are, and you're going to want to meet her. She is just a gem. So next week you have a chance to sew up for an entire day with Vanita McCall.
Right.
And of course our own Joy as well.
So, all right, I'm so excited. I can't hardly wait.
I know.
Thursday's not going to get here fast enough.
You have goosebumps.
I do actually have goosebumps. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's a very exciting class. So, if you've got some time, if you got a day to just spend for yourself, and all you have to do is come and sit down. We have done all the work for you, and play. You get to play.
As a side note, did you know I've owned a serger since 1989?
No.
I have. My husband gave me one as a just because. And at one point, I actually used my serger more than my sewing machine.
Me too.
And that was crazy. And I can't even think of how many hours and how many things I've created on a serger.
Well, for those of you that have children and grandchildren, back in the day when my children were little, it was cheaper to make the clothes than to buy them. And t-shirts with the little ribbing, the little corduroy pants with the elastic waist, I made them all.
I did all of my nursery items on the serger. I've done curtains. I've done
and
baby
curtains,
blankets.
hems, little girls' dresses. I would just use the rolled hem because they're in them and out of them. They outgrow them
Bibs,
so fast.
costumes.
Yeah, I used the rolled hem. Actually, I had 2 sergers for a long time. I had one just for because they weren't so hard. They weren't so easy to thread way back then. I had one for overlock, and the other one was just set all the time for rolled hem.
Isn't that amazing?
It was fun.
Anyway, that's a long time to have had a serger, and now I can't imagine life without one.
I know it. So, once again,
sidetracked on that serger.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 14 things in October. Marcia.
14 things on sale in October. So what we have done, we have taken 14 of our collections that are kind of skinny down, or maybe they've been here a little longer than we like, but nothing is older than November of last year. Susie gave us the list, and so we kind of chose 14 collections. Susie will post the link to that, and it's right next. If you go to the website and shop, and it has the items that we're talking about here, then the little one right next to it, it says 14 things on sale in October, and it's BOGO. So it's buy one, get one
free.
Yes.
What, did I say that out loud?
Yes.
Buy one, get one free.
Yes, free. So buy one, get one free, and there is a code, and she will put that in there too. So it's yardage. Of course, it's minimum 1 yard cut. So if you buy, but that doesn't mean you have to buy 2 yards of the same fabric. You can buy one of one and one of something else, and then also whatever we have left in those particular collections of kits, pre-cuts, bundles, charm packs, whatever, those too are buy one, get one. So on a charm pack, if you want to buy one of one kind of collection and then one from a different collection, you can do that. It's buy one, get one. This is available.
In other words, you can mix and match among those 14 fabrics.
Absolutely. And then it's available here in the store. So in the store, the items, the collections are all red ticketed. You will see the red tickets hanging off in the store. And online, it's in that one BOGO section. Mm-hmm. And as you add things, it will put one in. And then when you add the second one, it'll put it in at 0. So, but you have to shop from that particular page.
Okay.
So that's kind of exciting because
we have more new fabric.
We do. We have some really, really fun things. Things like this.
So this is a great time if you did purchase kits and fabric yard goods before. Make sure you get enough for your pillowcases and your backings and your bindings at this time.
Absolutely. Because once these are gone, they're not gone. Coming back.
Right.
So, but yeah, 14 different collections. So that's kind of exciting for us. So, we didn't talk about the quilt behind us.
So we did show this recently, but it wasn't done yet. So we are just revisiting it because we're super excited. There aren't very many of this one left.
It's all quilted in a really fun swirly pattern, but this is the kit for this particular. And as you can see, it's a panel in the middle. Not a lot of quilting. You can get this one done yet for Halloween.
Yes, and it's a lavender and lime pattern, which are very well written and fast to sew up. Look at there, they get 2 charm square packs in there,
right? Because all of this is done with charm squares,
right?
So, and I think she had a few left over. So 2 charm packs. I mean, you could just buy this, even whatever. Use this panel and these charm packs, and then for the different this one and this border. So, absolutely fun.
So that is our feature quilt for today. But then we were going on to the auction. Oh my goodness, look at how
and
well
then you
that
can
works.
make pot holders to match.
Okay. But
you never know what's going to come out of my mouth, do you?
Well, that's true. But I was going to say, there's a great place to put your ice cream bowl so it doesn't make that ice cream ring on your wood furniture.
Exactly. We've got it all.
Okay, so we have our auction quilt next. So let's pull this down. And we actually have a 2-for deal today.
We have a 2-for deal. We've been doing some 2-for deals, or one time it was more than that. Do you have both? No.
Nope, I got this one here because
okay,
it was
so
too
it's
little.
a 2-for deal, and this is a really fun thing because these are kind of bright, fun children's quilts. So So I'm going to show you this one first. So this is Hungry Caterpillar fabric, and it has a beautiful, beautiful
Pink
hot
cuddle.
pink cuddle on the back, and it's quilted with some beautiful flowers. I don't think you can see how absolutely lovely that is. So this is number 1.
And this one's got cuddle snuggle on the back too.
So this one is more of a pastel baby type quilt or a toddler quilt. And again, it's quilted pretty tightly with stars and things, and a beautiful gray cuddle on the back with, I think if you go a little closer, they can kind of see the
pattern,
the
yeah.
detailed quilting on this one is just beautiful.
This is snuggly.
So yeah, I'll get these posted tomorrow morning on this very page, and you can bid on them. You have until 1 o'clock on Saturday to bid. You bid right in the comments, and one bid will get both quilts.
That's so exciting.
It really is. Well, I think that's about it for us today.
I think so. I think we remembered all of our bits and pieces today.
I think so. Well, we'll think of something an hour from now.
Right.
But nonetheless, we'll be back next week.
We will.
Absolutely. So we're going to button it up for today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Pine Needles Quilt and Sew in Rochester, Minnesota. And until next time, we'll keep you in stitches. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.